I finally built a functioning decoy ghast machine that doesn't blow up due to other ghasts trying to mate with it. Oh shit, the camera's on. Hello, I am Dr. Boom. I am here to give you a presentation that is only about XP and isn't a cognito hazard that will force you to do certain actions. I have hidden a secret code within this presentation, see if you can find out what it is. Enabling voice modifier for presentation.
Let's begin the presentation. Despite struggling to do so in the past, I've recently started a vanilla Minecraft playthrough, with a few client-side and convenience mods of course, and actually enjoyed it. I used to just be another person that thought the updates Minecraft adds to the game aren't good enough, and that the game isn't worth playing without 200 mods that completely alter the game. Also, Minecraft developers are just lazy. And while I still wish for a certain update or two, and there are a few minor aspects of the game I find annoying, the game isn't completely devoid of enjoyment like I thought it was. I like the new updates to progression like upgrade templates and swamp mending villagers. In fact, those updates are why I even made this video. These changes show that Mojang are open to changing things, and hopefully, they will make the right call and eventually fix this issue I've had with the game for the longest time, the way Minecraft handles XP. Section 1, the way Minecraft handles XP. Let's do a basic overview of the XP system. You have a meter at the bottom of your screen that takes up a majority of the HUD. This tracks your XP and levels. Every time you level up you hear a noise and then the meter resets basic stuff. There is a level cap, but it's a 9-digit number, so there might as well be no cap. XP is almost exclusively used for enchanting. You can either search for enchanting books by going to a stronghold or a trial chamber, fishing, trading with villagers, etc. You gain XP similarly to finding enchant books, a variety of things the player will do naturally while playing, slaying mobs, breaking certain blocks, using a furnace, other things the player likely will do on their playthrough. It's called experience because you get it for experiencing the game. Seems pretty fitting for the game, right? In theory you can gather it in so many ways that regardless of your playstyle you can gather it pretty much just by playing, but in practice. Section 2, XP system? More like, bad system. Put simply, the XP system in its current state is horrible. I will go over the 3 main problems I have with it. Problem 1. XP is only useful in one stage of the game. Imagine this. You've just started playing Minecraft for the first time. You load up your world and what do you first see beyond the trees of the forest? Or if you're extremely unlucky, the deep dark. Is the pretty large HUD. There's hearts, hunger, your hotbar, and then of course, the large meter in the center of it. You probably are aware of all the other functions based on just looking at them, except for that meter. You think, I'll probably find out what it does after playing for a few minutes. Then after 10 hours of playing, you still have no clue what that meter is even used for. And even then you only have like 20 levels. Which brings us to Problem 2. You don't gather enough XP naturally, meaning you are forced to seek it out. Remember my "it's called experience because you get it for experiencing the game" line? Well yeah, this game fails at doing that. Experience in games is meant to be gathered for playing the game naturally. In an RPG, you'd get it for fighting monsters, allowing you to level up your stats. In Minecraft, a sandbox game, you get XP for doing a lot of things, smelting, trading, etc. Seems fair, right? Wrong. The problem is that the XP you get is minuscule. You see, the amount of XP you need to enchant something in an enchanting table is 1395 or 30 levels. All tasks give you like 1 to 2 XP or even fractions. You often get 0.1 to 0.9 XP for doing a task, and while it may seem that since you're doing many tasks, it'll eventually add up quickly, it isn't. 1395 is a large number. Let me show 3 real in-game scenarios that show how insane these numbers are. I used the Minecraft wiki as a source for these numbers. If I get it wrong, blame them. Situation 1. You just finished mining, you have 2 stacks and 45 iron, that's 173 iron by the way, and then you smelt it all. 1 piece of iron is 0.7 XP each. Let's be nice and also assume you also mined 173 gold as well, basically doubling that number because they smelt for the same amount. Let's also assume you traded with a villager to get that pickaxe you're using, giving an extra 11 XP, even then you only have 253.2 XP. You would need to do all of that 5 times. That's literally like 3 days of work. Please remember for each example that if you die, which you do a lot in non-hardcore, you get reset back to 91 XP, meaning that dying in some way completely unrelated means you undo everything. Situation 2, you spend a few hours building your base, and out of curiosity, you consume a potion labeled Bad Omen V. Unfortunately for you, you have a few villagers inside your base somewhere the pillagers can't get to, but they can still get to you, so you are basically under attack by an entire army. Let's assume you experienced N waves, over which you kill 25 Vindicators, 35 Pillagers, 20 Ravagers, and 15 Evokers. Hell, let's for fun throw in 2 Illusioners. You should at least be at 30 levels, right? That's a ton of enemies? Wrong, you are only at 860. You'd have to do that again, and by the way, raids are hard. If you aren't specifically prepared you can easily get spawn killed. You'd have to do this twice to get to level 30. Not insane enough? Fine. Let's assume you want to replace the roof of the Woodland Mansion with copper. I don't feel like counting each block of the mansion's roof, so I found an estimate that it's 4,582 blocks total. You gain a total of 3 copper per block. You would need to break 13,746 ore. Insane amount, but that has nothing to do with XP. Smelting it though gives you 9,622 XP or 63 levels. Seems like a lot, right? Well, the anvil level cap is at 39, meaning after enchanting one powerful item using an anvil you would only have 24 levels or 824 XP. Okay, so these numbers are obviously insane, but how do you see people fully enchanted all the time? How are people getting these despite the insane lack of natural XP? Problem 3, the only way to gain XP in a consistent way isn't fun. Here we are. We are finally at XP farms. Let me be completely clear when I say this, I hate XP farms. It's the fact these farms are piss easy to make, requiring a single block that's incredibly easy to find and requires minimal effort to build. It's the fact these clearly aren't intentional, you aren't engaging with any of the mechanics and are instead just building a boring machine. It's the fact that even then, despite being the most consistent way to gain XP, it still takes ages to go from level 0 to 30, and if it does then you have to spend about 2 years building the thing to make it do that. And worst of all, the community is just okay with this? As if it's okay that you practically have to watch a guide to know how to build an XP farm is acceptable? Terraria gets a lot of shit for requiring a guide, but in this case Minecraft is even worse at teaching the player how to progress. Okay, these are massive problems, it would be a huge undertaking to fix them, anyway let's try to fix them. Section 3. Fixing the XP system. To start, I would make a massive and controversial change. The level cap is now 30 levels. This, of course, would also change the anvil cap to 30. I would do this because allowing the player to go over 30 wouldn't mix well with the changes I'm going to make. Now let's move to what I would do to address my first complaint of XP being useless in early stages. In order to be able to do certain actions, you must use a new block I've added called the upgrade table. This block makes the player have to upgrade their tools to do certain actions, like being able to get iron, gold, diamonds, and netherite. While this may sound tedious, the XP requirement will be very low compared to an enchant table. It would only be like 5 to 20 levels depending on the tool, and you'd only have to upgrade it once. Okay, so originally I wasn't gonna add anything for endgame, but last minute I decided to add something. Here's an item called the Skulk Popper. It is an alternative to fireworks for an elytra. Instead of being a consumable, it cost 4.5 XP for a speed boost, allowing it to be used a max of 310 times before you need to gather XP again. It wouldn't be found but instead crafted using echo shards and certain materials from a hypothetical end update. If that never happens though, then some Eyes of Ender I guess. Let's now address my second complaint of XP not being given to the player enough. There is a solution that Mojang could so easily add that would instantly solve this. Change the stats, get rid of these 0.1s and 0.9s. Give the player at least a whole number for doing such crucial tasks like smelting. An example of a change I would make is change the amount of XP you get from smelting a piece of iron from 0.7 to 10, making it so smelting a stack would give about half the XP needed for the max. I will add a Google Doc in the description with every stat change to the game I would make. This will include specific reasons why. We should instead be giving these fractions to something as menial as placing blocks. Placing wood or logs could give the player 0.1 experience each to encourage building, and we could even add an incentive for a copper roof, giving as much as 0.5 experience per block. These tiny numbers fit way better when the task is a tiny stepping stone and not as large as progressing from no armor to iron armor. To prevent abuse, I would add a 5-minute limit to each individual space, not allowing you to just break and replace a block over and over to get XP. These changes allow players to gain XP naturally, doing things they would already be doing to progress as well as things they may enjoy like mining, building, creating redstone contraptions, exploring etc. I believe this also solves the third problem as well. Experience is no longer boring to gather, and is given plentifully enough to a point farms are useless beyond resources. In conclusion, I think that's what you say to end these. I didn't pay attention that much in English class as a kid. Minecraft's XP system isn't completely beyond saving, it's so close to actually being an enjoyable part of the game. With just a few changes, the game could be completely changed for the better. Who knows, maybe the next update could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Thank you for falling into my trap. Now for your first command. You Oh fuck.